Yo, what is the deal, everybody? What is the deal? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Salute to the chat. Salute to everyone out there worldwide. It is a beautiful, beautiful Saturday afternoon. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm looking out the window. I'm saying, man, I know people got things to do. But I felt like talking some ball, man. I really did, man, before I head out. So listen, man, what is the deal, everybody? Salute to everybody in the chat. Share this thing out to all social media. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Share this thing out. My guy, George Cortinez just popped in the place to be. Nada's in here. Adrian Diaz is in the place to be. Oh, my God. The great and powerful CGR is in the place. Anthony's in the place. And that bum Bodega Wasted is in the place. He goes, here's your stinking tomato for being 1 minute late. Get the F out of here. You get the F up out of here. Bodega Wasted, you were cruising for a blocking. You were about to be unceremoniously blocked. Effing bum. T-Nip, what it is. Black's Mob, what it is, man. Man, trying to get hydrated. It's a hot day out there, man. But yeah, man, listen. I was reading some articles, right? And this is a name that I've been thinking about throughout the offseason, right? Because, look, if I'm being honest, the Raiders are not really ready to take on a contract and the whole construct of a Jalen Ramsey situation, right? That's not something that is, to me, conducive to the success of this football team. It's just not, right? So when I start thinking, Jai Alexander, I kind of had the idea he was going to go to Baltimore. He has a lot of ties there, right? So when I start sitting, I start thinking, I'm like, look, man, it wouldn't hurt if the Raiders went out there and got a veteran guy, right? And we all have been naming people, and this is a name that has come up in previous years past. But, I want to read this article, and I want to know what you guys think. And then we're going to really break down whether Stephon Gilmore is a real possibility for the Raiders, right? Because guys like Stephon Gilmore that were on a Hall of Fame trajectory, they've been in the Super Bowl. He's done everything in his league. I don't necessarily think that Stephon Gilmore wants to go to a dumpster fire of a situation. I don't think he wants to go to a place where he doesn't have a clear path at starting. And I also think from a financial standpoint, the Raiders make sense for Stephon Gilmore. And the Raiders make sense for him more so than almost any other team in the league. And we got over 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. My guy, Marcus Garza, he's the wasted talent. Appreciate you. Simple AF, what it is, man. So I'm just so glad that all y'all are excited to be in a place to be this fine Saturday afternoon, man. Yo, Anthony, just for saying that, you're about to be blocked for that crap. Bring back Damon Arnett. Damon Arnett's fine, man. He's with the Texans. God bless him. Rock on. But I don't think Las Vegas was the place for him, But look, let's get into this, man. Let's get into this. I want to read this article. I had it pulled up. It went down. But we're going to be back in a place to be. I got to pull it up. I want to read it. I want to give them their proper credit. But this was from Just Blog Baby by Levi Dombro. He wrote an article about Stephon Gilmore coming to the Raiders, and I'm going to read it, man. The Las Vegas Raiders have made several changes to their roster this offseason. Perhaps no position group was hit harder than the secondary. Pete Carroll and John Spytek completely revamped both rooms. But many are still concerned about the cornerback position in particular. I myself am one of those people, right? Going now are Nate Hobbs, Jack Jones, as Jacorian Bennett remains the only person from last year's starting group. These two were replaced by third-round rookie Darian Porter and former Green Bay Packer Eric Stokes. So now the group lacks a single player who has appeared in more than 45 games. Now, the inexperience factor, and I need to get off the article really quickly, inexperience factor is a huge issue for me, right? You got to have somebody in that room that you can lean on with that experience. And that's one of the reasons why I've been kind of banging the table for the Raiders to go out there and go get them a veteran corner, right? Veteran options have been largely ignored by the Raiders this offseason, as players like Jai Alexander, as I mentioned before, Jalen Ramsey, and Shaq Griffin have landed elsewhere. However, there was one experienced cornerback still out there who is particularly begging for the Las Vegas Raiders to sign him. And I don't know if Stephon Gilmore is particularly begging for us to sign him. I don't want to mislead you, but let's be for real here, right? Stephon Gilmore could be the missing piece for the Raiders' young cornerback room. Gilmore, the NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 2019, could be an excellent addition to the Raiders' cornerback room. On a recent episode of the Money Down podcast, Gilmore sent a message to NFL teams about him wanting to play this season. He goes, "I want to play this year. It's just got to be the right situation," Gilmore said. He goes, "I am not just going to sign anywhere. It's got to be the right situation. I still love the game. I can contribute. I just got to be in the right place." Now, Gilmore, and if I'm being honest, and shout out to my guy Levi Dunn, bro. But, that was the article. I'm not going to read much more, right? Gilmore is a guy that flourished in a Gus Bradley type of fence post cover 3 situation, right? I think with Patrick Graham, he would do equally as well. And playing under Pete Carroll and being a mentor to some of these young guys in the room, Stephon Gilmore might be the kind of move that extends far beyond just his play on the field. Like I said before, the thing that's missing in the National Football League at large is veteran leadership, because it is such a salary cap driven league that you can't keep those vets on your roster. And a lot of the times, the good teams, the really good teams, when they have vets, they're guys that are going to walk right into the Hall of Fame, right? That never go anywhere. Guys like Travis Kelce, people like that. But if I'm being honest, right, I think for the Raiders, Stephon Gilmore makes sense just by virtue of the fact that Stephon Gilmore would be getting into a situation, because apparently, it's a money thing too. He wants to make money. He's in a situation when he's in a tax-free state. He has a clear path to starting for the Raiders. He's coming in to a situation with a guy who was one of the deans of defensive back play in this league, in Pete Carroll. And there's a clear and concise need for his mentorship here. It's the best situation for him, man. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I think this is nothing but right. I am going to be fine with this if they try to bring him in. I just hope that John Spytek and Pete Carroll understand what the situation is. Now, training camp has not started, so I really don't want to be a guy that is, just hyperbolic for no reason, right? But I think that there is a need here. There's a need here, man. Oh, my God. You get off my lawn. Chef, what's the deal, Chef? Oh, my God. But get away with your brothers. What do you guys think about Gilmore possibly being a Raider? Do you think that John Spytek and Pete Carroll should kick the tires on him? I mean, we're going to get into some of his numbers, right? It's funny. T-Dipper goes, "Damn, Wasted is a short king." No, not at all. Not at all, bro. Go look at some of the pictures of me with the guys. I'm the tallest one, bro. I'm definitely not a short king. I'm not like a skyscraper, but I'm over 6 feet tall. I'm not short. But nah, whatever, man. But listen, man. Yo, if I'm 4'11", that means everybody else is about 3'11", bro. I mean, what the F is wrong with you guys, man? I mean, what is wrong with you guys? You guys see that? Definitely not 4'11". It's AI. The F up out of here, yo. The F up out of here, man. Yeah, but no, let's get back to it, right? So, at the end of the day, man, when you start talking about Stephon Gilmore, his numbers have kind of dropped over the last few years, right? Now, he, like we said, back in 2019, which doesn't seem like that far away ago, but man, Hell, man, it's 2025, man. That's 6 years ago. He was defensive player of the year. Now, he has an overall grade last year of 63.9. A lot of people don't like to put a lot of credence into this PFF stuff, but I'm going to. Pass rush grade is 58.8, right? His run defense grade was 77.6. So he's a short tackler, and his coverage grade was 60.5. He had 48 solo tackles, 1 interception, 0 total pressures, 55 receptions allowed. That was 13th out of 222 cornerbacks in his league. 1 forced fumble, 18 stops, 7 missed tackles, which is pretty good for a cornerback. Passer rating allowed was 100.6, which is right there in the middle of the league, right? Receptions per yard is 9.8, 8 pass breakups. You know, I mean, the guy was just being a consummate pro, right? I think this is the kind of, you know, move that the Raiders can afford to make because, listen, if we're being honest here, right, we have a lot of hopium for this team, right? But I think even for the Raiders to get to a situation to where they're 500 or a game above or below, or whatever, I think that there's more work that needs to be done. Like, we're in the toughest division in football. We're not in a situation like the Rams, where the Rams, it's just them, and, you know, you're wondering if the 49ers are going to be any good. You're wondering if the Seahawks are going to be any good, right? You know, like, we're in a very, very tough division, man. Shout out to Hammer. Hammer's in the place, man. Hammer, what it is, bro. What it is. Hammer is in a place to be. Shout out to my guy Hammer, man. Yeah, I mean, listen. Is he durable? Look, we got to look at how many games that he played. Hey, Raider Loso and Bodega Wasted. I'm going to be honest with you. Yo, I'll be honest with y'all, bro. If I see another picture with my name on it, I'm going to block you permanently. You better take that effing picture of me down. It's enough of this shit. Bodega Wasted, you are about to go to the gulags. Should have never started this crap. I'm telling you right now, Raider Loso, all of you effing bums, you guys are about to be blocked. Y'all are playing around too damn much. I cannot have this crap in my damn chat. There's enough of this nonsense. Enough. Throwing me under the bus. You bunch of bums. It's enough of this crap. I'm telling you right now, Bodega Wasted, you. Yo, Bodega Wasted, you. I'm telling you right now, you about to get blocked. It's enough of this crap. I'll have to put up with this on my own damn show. God! Wow! Yeah, man. But listen, when we start talking about Gilmore, I mean, the guy last year, you know, I mean, look, he's been pretty durable, man. He's been pretty durable. You really can't, you know, say that he's falling apart. You can't say the guy's falling apart. I mean, Stephon Gilmore played, I mean, almost most of the games last year. I mean, matter of fact, let's pull this up, man. Let's pull this up, man. Let's see how many games last year did Stephon Gilmore play. I mean, he's always been a guy who's been pretty durable for the last few years, man. He's had his times where he's had injuries, right? But in the last few years, he's been doing pretty well, man. He played 15 games last year. Played 15 games. He's in his 14th season. The guy played pretty damn well. And when he was with Dallas, he played pretty well. When he was with, you know, the Colts, he played pretty well, man. He's like a mercenary out there. With Kush Mob. Wasted. I wouldn't mind getting Rasul Douglas. I think he's valid. I'm hoping Gruden would have kept him that way. Yeah, me too, man. Like, see, the thing is, a lot of times we feel like we're gonna go right the wrongs of organizations past, right? The organization was different then. Gruden didn't keep him. It was a huge mistake. He's gone other places and greener pastures and played really well, right? But I would prefer a guy that's on a Hall of Fame trajectory in here, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I think he has something valid to add, man. You got a lot of young, physically talented young guys in this room that just need some refining. They need that vet in the room, man. They need that vet in the room. Said Mike Hilton is still a viable option at slot nickel corner. Ray Deloso getting blocked. Wasted. Can you help me get the Kingmaker Challenge out there? Men take interest in exposing younger cats and any positive experience. That's all. I don't necessarily know what it is, bro. Listen, simple AF, do me a favor, hit me in the inbox. We'll chop it up. You know what I mean? I don't want to endorse something that I don't even exactly know what it is. But let me know what it is. And if it's something, man, that I feel like is viable and valuable, bro, I'm always down to help out anybody spread some positivity out here. You know what I'm saying? We need that. That's part and parcel of the reason why I do my show. You know, like we can all use, you know, messages being brought out there to uplift everybody. So let me know, man. Let me know. But let's get back to the ball, man. Yo, my guy Stephon Gilmore. Home team last 3 years have been in dome stadiums. Yeah, I mean, listen, bro, it has. It has. And to be real with you, look, when you start talking about the AFC West, man, this is a guy that's been through the ringer, right? So you might need somebody that you can lean on that's been through it, man. This guy, you know, is not a guy that needs to play indoors either. He played in New England and played well. He played down there in Carolina and played well. You know, so for me, listen, I think this is the perfect move for the Raiders. It is a low risk, high reward move. Gilmore wouldn't need to be like he was in his prime. We have a very young secondary that will benefit from his experience. And that's how I'm looking at it too, first and goal Raider. Salute to my guy, man. Salute to my guy. Yeah, it would be great to have Patrick Surtain, bro. We don't. He's the best corner in the damn league, pretty much. Best corner in the damn league. So, yo, listen, man. Stephon Gilmore get like depending on it. Guys, do me a favor in the chat. Put those ones up if you're in favor of Stephon Gilmore. Any of you guys got a dissenting viewpoint, let me know, right? We're going to get into some more Raider news. We're going to get out of here. This is going to be a short waste right here, man. It's going to be a short, wasted talent show because I got to go get my daughter. One's all over the damn place. One's all over the place. Now, listen, man. We have been dogging this guy. You know, we have been pissed because he's not Jalen Carter. You know what I'm going to get into. There's been a lot made about Tyree Wilson, man. But, you know, in an article from the Yardbarker, they're saying that it is evident that he's continuing to develop. And I feel that way too, right? Ben Lindsley of Pro Football Focus recently noted that Wilson is more valuable than he has received credit for. Lindsley explained that the higher entropy value correlates with the player who lines up in many spots. Now, this is the thing. I think that when you have a defensive line like we have, right? We have guys like Max Crosby, who is a defensive end and a pass rusher by trade, right? Malcolm Kuntz, who is a pass rusher and hunter of quarterbacks by trade. It is good to have a positional group of versatile guys that you can line up and put in different spots. The more versatile you are, the more value you have to a team at large, right? So when you start looking at a Tyree Wilson, it's a big, powerful guy that really hasn't developed his pass rushing game. And the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, right? So if you put him at the defensive line with, you know, the fact that, you know, he can hold his ground and set his position, big, strong, bull rushing guy. This is the kind of guy that you will want to make kind of like a 3-tech, right? And this is the thing, man. You get him more snaps with a relatively split usage. Get him more snaps. I think the thing that Tyree Wilson has been missing is snaps. And if I'm being honest, just snaps. Get out there and ball. Like Wilson has shown the ability to play defensive end and defensive tackle throughout his career, right? Interior defensive line. You know, the first 2 seasons of his career, like you can argue that He's better on the defensive line than he is on the edge. And that's one of the things that people say that he can develop. And I don't necessarily know if that's true, that first step. I don't know. I think a lot of it is watching film. I think a lot of how he's going to be successful is technique and at the point of contact. I don't think he's ever going to blow anybody away off the edge, right? Like they said, following the team activities, Wilson analyzed his first 2 seasons. And I don't know if you guys remember that we talked about it. As he prepares to enter his third, and like many others, he feels the pressure. He hears the whispers. It's not like he doesn't. He's going to go out there and try to be the best he can be. You know, he's going to go out there and try to be, and that's all you can ask for from the kid. Yo, salute to everybody in the chat. We got 186 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Legit move Wilson to DT. Now, see the thing with me, I don't really necessarily want to move him just the defensive tackle. I want to use him, and when he got drafted, I looked at him as a Justin Tuck. I want to use him like the Giants use Justin Tuck. Yo, shout out to my guy Big Mike Rader in a place to be, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, my dog. My man says, shout out to the chat. Always listening, even if I'm not in the chat, always, man. I appreciate the support, my brother. Thank you, bro. Same here. You already know, man. And yo, CGR told you, man, pay your bar tabs. Pay your bar tabs. LV thought that Wilson adding pounds to Wilson and moving to DT. They've been saying that for a while now. Just watching them from now. Look, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think it's better to keep him as a Swiss Army knife than just moving him and committing him and changing his position like that. I think a lot of his measurables and his body and his frame and stuff like that, if he can develop from a technique standpoint, I think he could be a hell of a defensive end. I'm telling you right now, I would love to see that. Now, look, man, we're going to put a pin in this. We're going to move on. My guy, DeMarcus Webb, been a member for 19 months. Wasted. What you think about signing Yannick? Now, Yannick, man, a lot of people talked about that, right? I would much rather sign a guy like a Matthew Judon. I think Matthew Judon is the guy that I sign. I'd rather sign Von Miller. I'd rather sign Von Miller, man. I'm going to be real with you. I'd rather sign Von Miller. That's another vet that can come in and be productive. So you think that Tyree's a Geno Atkins cut? I don't know, bro. Geno Atkins was man. He was quick, man. He was quick. Tyree's a lot bigger than Geno Atkins. That was a quick little defensive tackle, man. Yo, shout out to my guy Brandon Vandal. Where you been, bro? Glad to catch a live from Colorado to Ohio. 20-hour drive. Yeah, man. Listen, if I can get you through that, my brother, your brother Wasted is here for you. But for me, I would much rather than Yannick Ngakoue, I'd much rather bring in a guy like a Von Miller because of the relationship with Max and what he brings to the table. This is a guy's going to walk into the Hall of Fame, right? Where Yannick Ngakoue has been such a liability in the run game that I'm not signing up for that anymore. I'm not signing up on that anymore, man. Yannick Ngakoue is a turnstile setting the edge. Yes, can he hunt the quarterback? But am I willing to give up 20 or 30 tackles for me to get those little lousy 6 sacks? I'm cool, man. I think Yannick Ngakoue has had his day in the sun. And at the very minimum, he's got to be a guy that's on the bench and a situational pass rusher. But Von Miller is a guy that if one of your guys go down, you can live with him starting on the other side. I'll tell you what, man. When you start talking about Miller and Gilmore and all that stuff, that would be nice, right? But at the end of the day, the Raiders don't look like they're in the market to bring in older players. So listen, if anything's gonna happen, I'd rather it be Gilmore. I think there's a glaring need in that secondary. Shout out to my guy Jonathan Lamelli in the place to be wasted. Good seeing you live, bro. Hope you and the family doing well. What's the latest Raider news? I'm giving it to you right now, my brother. I'm giving you the latest right now. It's not a whole lot, man. It's the off season. Like, listen, we in here connecting, talking about our team, talking about, and I'm about to get into this later. who do you think is going to make the roster, right? Because it's the calm before the storm. Everything's about to pick up now, right? I'll be real with you. When I look at the Raiders, right, and I'm looking at how this roster is going to shape up, I'm very, very curious about who's going to make this team and who isn't. Telling you right now, I am very, very curious on that. There are a lot of people that have a list of players that might not make the team, right? Now, I don't want to get into that, right? But what I'll tell you is there are a few players that, to me, need to really, 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 really marry themselves and put themselves in a public eye. I'm going to start. Chris Smith III is a guy. We got a log jam at safety. I think Chris Smith is a guy that definitely needs to fight for his roster spot. Man, I mean, Amari Gaynor is a guy that needs to fight for his roster spot. I know we like the idea of Amari Gaynor. We love the frame. We love the measurables. But Amari Gaynor is a guy that is fighting for his life to make this roster. He's fighting for his life. He is fighting for his life, and Godspeed. And Tommy Eichenberg as well. They went out there and made some free agent acquisitions in the linebacker room. And believe you me, you got to follow the money, right? For the most part, those free agent guys are going to be here. So now, how many linebackers are the Raiders going to keep? 4 or 5? It's a lot, man. It is a lot, man. And I am going to tell you guys something, man. Wait, hold on. To me, this season feels like Pete Carroll wants to test these young guys, whether it be the rookies or the younger high upside free agents. I do not think he wants to bring in a veteran for a year. See, I think that is something that is a mistake, bro. I think that's a mistake. I think the way young players develop and get developed is seeing how it's done. Seeing how it's done, and not just from Max either, because Max is not a corner. You need to have somebody back there to show you how like the nuance of your position. You need that nuance, man. You need that nuance. Raider Loso. I think that Spytek and Carroll might be in the business of trying to develop our young talent, rather side. And bro, they are. And I'm in that business. I'm definitely in that business. The thing is this though. At the end of the day, there's more than one way to develop a player, right? Like players don't just get developed from just straight up coach rhetoric and reps. There's a mental aspect of this game that you have to have people that have been there and done that before to kind of make it easy for you. Yo, Sam Watts, old protege from Houston, took a Swiss Army knife. We want Tyree to become. He's relentless like Crosby. He'll show the youngins how to be versatile in the trenches. See, listen, Courtney, this is my big guy, Courtney, man. He talking about the trench. We talking about the damn secondary right now, big fella. We talking about the secondary, man. Yo, I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that, man. Said they're staying packed in this year. And this year they would go all in, plus a great draft for the quarterbacks. Look, man, I love the way the Raiders are going about their business, right? But I think every year, as far as the QB room, right? The cornerback room, not the QB room, the cornerback room, I think that there should be at every level of this positional group, there has to be some veteran leadership there. And I don't see a whole lot of it. Yo, my guy, Solomon Mitchell. It's like anything in life. Older, wiser, more experienced people need to show and lead the next generation and pass on the wisdom. And that's 100% valid. My guy, Julio Adelman. Wasted. Does Tyree Wilson remind you of Andre Bruce? Yo, my man went back, yo. My man said Andre Bruce, yo. Yo, Andre Bruce is one of them guys, man, that, you know, that everybody thought when he was coming out of Auburn, man, everybody thought was going to be that deal. Everybody thought was going to be that deal. Yeah, you know what, man? I can definitely say that, bro. I can definitely say that he's just a guy that just never was drafted pretty high, from what I understand. Because Andre Bruce, man, damn, I mean, he came in '92, from what I remember, man. Because I was younger then. I remember Andre Bruce. He came out of Auburn. If I remember, I think he was drafted by the Falcons. Was Bruce drafted? Let me look it up. Bruce was drafted by the Falcons, right? I know he played for us. Yeah, nah, that's right. Yeah, he joined us after the Falcons, man. Yeah, he does. Yo, he does remind me of Andre Bruce a little bit. He doesn't listen. Dexter Manley, you can say what you want about Dexter Manley, right? Dexter Manley was a monster. Dexter Manley was a monster, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. Dexter Manley was one of the best players in the league, man. Tyree don't remind me of him, man. Marvel Master, I agree with veteran leadership. Sorry if my previous message was misconstrued. That I just don't want to spend premium money on a veteran who'll be there for a year or two. Feels like a shot in the foot. I mean, you don't have to spend premium money on Stephon Gilmore. I think Stephon Gilmore understands where he sits in a hierarchy of the league this year. He understands he's at the end. He gets it, right? I think he want to get one more contract. Yeah, man. But yo, yeah, nah, man. Nah, not listen, man. I don't think that this is gonna cost the Raiders a whole lot. And it's funny, man. My man Eloy talking about he reminds me of Dexter Manley. Yo, I've always really, I know you just joking, bro. I've always felt really bad for the way Dexter Manley's life and career has turned out. I have a lot of empathy for that dude. Had a lot of freaking talent, man. You know, I remember Dexter Manley and Charles Mann with the Redskins, man. Man, he was an absolute unit, man. I've always felt really bad for how things turn out, and it's crazy how a guy can go all the way through school. Like with Dexter Manley, because I was young then. I think he was did he go to Nebraska? Yo, did he go to Nebraska? I think Dexter Manley went to Nebraska, man. How do you get through college and not know how to read, bro? Like that's sad, man. Like that's a guy that was failed, bro. He was failed. He was placated to. They failed him, bro. They failed him. And it's crazy how like Charles Mann was like the NFL man of the year and like the just you know, and this guy just his life was a freaking train wreck, man. Just a freaking train wreck, man. But yeah, man, listen, let's get into some more Raider stuff, right? We've been going strong for 30 minutes. I was going to do like a 41-minute waste, you know, 41-minute waste. 50% of kids today have a 7th grade reading level at graduation, but at least they can read at all. I mean, this man couldn't read, bro. That's crazy, bro. Do you get all the way through school and nobody recognizes that, especially when you're a great athlete? No, not one coach, nobody. Wasted. You will be surprised at the ones talent can do, especially a coach that wants to recruit you and has connect. No, I get that was in the 80s, bro. You can't get away with that shit no more, bro. You cannot get away with that anymore, bro. CJ, I appreciate you, my brother, for pulling up. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat. Wasted with your brother, Wasted. Wasted. The question is, does Gilmore move the needle enough to upset the rookie apple cart? Not sure it does. Not, dude, I definitely yo, he went to Oklahoma State. It was one of them schools, Oklahoma, Nebraska, one of them. But I think he definitely does, bro. Just even from just a knowledge-based standpoint. Who better to be in that room than a guy that has a Hall of Fame, He's on a Hall of Fame trajectory, man. I don't know if Stephon Gilmore make it, but look, man, there's when you assess a guy like that, bro, and you look at some of the other names, you look at his all-time stats, Stephon Gilmore has something to say about getting his way into the Hall. Tyler Dance, I preferred for us to bring in Leonard Williams to begin with. I love Leonard Williams, and he grew up a Raider fan. It would have been nothing but right. But if I'm being real, right, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, the New York Jets are definitely not going to get rid of Quinnen Williams, right? Quinnen Williams is one of the best in his position, right? And we also have a lot of money tied up in the Christian Wilkins. So I think you got to kind of make heads or tails of what Christian Wilkins can be post-injury to even decide to even dream of making a move like that. That's way too much money allocated to one positional group, right? Like, you got Max, who's a DN. You got a top 7 pick. That's a DN. You got Malcolm Kuntz, who's up for a contract. You got Christian Wilkins, who's the second highest paid player on this team. And you go out there and go get one of those guys, I don't see it. You went and just drafted 2 guys in J.J. Pegues and Tonka Hemingway. You had a big free agent signing in Matthew Butler. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not think that that's something that is viable for the Raiders, man. Geno has played 14 career games in dome stadiums with 30 TDs, 5 interceptions, with 110 passer rating. Geno's played 12 games in dome stadiums this year. Yeah, Geno should probably cook, right? If history is the great indicator of how well Geno Smith can play, yeah, Geno should possibly cook, right? But at the end of the day, Geno Smith and the Raiders need to really, really understand the coverages, right? And they need to understand their protections, right? What's going to happen up front, right? Because there's a lot of people that think that Alex Kappa is almost guaranteed to start. And I would hope that he has to fight tooth and nail to get that position. I really do. The Raiders' offensive line is a huge, huge issue for this team at large. And I know for most teams it is. But for this team in particular, for you to get the best version of Geno Smith as he's getting older, is you got to protect him. For you to get the best version of Ashton Genty, you got to block for that kid. He can't be under duress, and it can't be a jailbreak every time he touches the football, right? So the offensive line and the secondary are 2 issues on this team that I want to see the Raiders take a few more swings at, man, if I'm being honest. Shout out to my guy family in football for the $5 smackaroonie. Simple as that. I believe what Gilmore brings is something we already have, a proven teacher at that position. But I get what you're saying. So let me ask you a question. Who is the proven teacher at that position besides our head coach? A person that's suiting up and has the resume that a guy like Stephon Gilmore has. Who has that resume? Let me know. Maybe I'm missing something, bro. My guy Terry Mack is in the place. What do you think, Wasted? I think we should probably bring in a veteran cornerback. I mean, I would love Gilmore, but there's maybe 2 other options out there. No, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. There are other options, right? There's Douglas, there's Mike Hilton. Listen, that's 100% correct, right? And they're a little younger. I think the thing that Gilmore brings is that resume. That resume and that level of credibility is something you just can't buy. You can't buy that level of credibility, bro. There's no one out there that's currently available that has that level of credibility. And for me, we have such a young football team. I think it's good to bring in former alpha dog players to show these guys the way. I believe Gilmore, if we brought him in, I believe he could teach a lot of young kids a lot of stuff about the NFL, which would help bringing these guys up to par. And I'm telling you right now, that's the main thing. It is all about, like, yo, it's one thing to have a positive attitude, right? But it's another thing for you as a player to really have a real understanding of the position. Yo, my God, Terry Mack, I totally agree with you, Wasted. He has a lot of credibility in the NFL. He has a lot of experience and a lot of things he could pass on to our younger cornerback group. Like, could you imagine having a guy like Stephon Gilmore, teaching the kid like Porter with all of that athletic talent and ability and actually giving him some of that game? Oh, man, it's nothing but right. Do you feel like we're a veteran corner away from being a Super Bowl contender? No. I think that we're a veteran corner that's playing at a high level away from being an elite defense and us being a 500 or just under the crust 500 team. I think that's where we are based off of, our roster. Now, this is the thing, right? We're Super Bowl contenders if JPJ becomes one of the best centers in football, right? We're Super Bowl contenders if GJ Glaze becomes one of the best right tackles in football. We're Super Bowl contenders if both guards hold up and playing at a starter level. We're Super Bowl contenders if Colton Miller can come in and kind of reach back to his past and be what he used to be, right? We're Super Bowl contenders if Ashton Genty runs for over 1,600 yards. We're Super Bowl contenders if Geno Smith throws for 4,000 yards. And we're Super Bowl contenders if Jacoby Myers and Besh and Dante Thornton don't make any mistakes and Jacoby Myers just plays at the level he's been playing. Then that makes us Super Bowl contenders. But guess what? I just sat here for 10 minutes giving you a bunch of ifs. And if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. So we really don't know. Wasted. Who do you think is going to have a bigger role this year? Mayer, Mozart, or Thornton? I'm probably going to guess. That's a tough one because Michael Mayer is coming back. Chip Kelly's ranted and raved about him, talking about using 12 personnel and all this stuff, right? And we talk about Dante Thornton. He's been the darling of the offseason. Everybody's talking about Dante Thornton, and we're all enamored with his the height, weight, speed. It's a rare combination. It's a guy that's never, that's a guy that's never seen a cornerback that can even deal with him, right? But the reason why I would probably say Michael Mayer is because there's more of a straight line to him actually getting snaps. They've already said he's going to get snaps. He's a veteran player, and I think he's going to be a yak monster. He's going to get yards after the catch, and I think that he's going to be a guy that is, I think he's going to be a guy that is going to jump off the page from a physical standpoint. Terry Mack, I believe this year, Wasted, I do believe we're going to make the playoffs. I see this team really surprising a lot of people. You can't beat this coaching staff. I mean, look, we could, but then again, we had 3 teams from the same division go to the playoffs last year. 3. So I don't see that happening again 2 years in a row, right? So who falls off, right? Is it us? Is it the Chargers? Right? Is it Kansas City? Hell, is it the Nets? What's going on? Yo, you're speaking from a peer perspective and your point is valid. I'm solely relying on Carroll. Neither is wrong. And bro, see, when we talk about that, we're talking about in the locker room with a guy who's actually doing it right along with you. Your head coach is one thing, right? But it's not even like he's a positional coach. I think that a player that plays the same position as you well and has done it for a long time has more impact on you than even your coach a lot of the times. Agree, because all attention going to Bowers and Genty, maybe Besh and Thornton, and Mayer might be able. See, the thing with Besh and Thornton, and the reason why I would say Mayer is because I know that Michael Mayer is a part of the plan. I don't necessarily know how much Thornton or Besh plays this year. Right now, it's looking like they're going to play this year, right? But what happens if Trey Tucker in a major way becomes one of the other go-to guys, and it's Jacoby and Trey Tucker and it's Bowers and it's Mayer, and then Thornton and Besh are grabbing some pine or getting every third snap, or you know what I'm saying? So that's why I would say Mayer, man. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. I think it was about time for me to pull this train to the train tracks, guys. Wanted to do a really quick live, man. We're gonna be going all weekend. You know, it's not a whole lot. I gotta get back to doing some of the pre-recorded stuff too, guys. Do you guys like the pre-records? Let me ask y'all a question. Hold on, Sean Thoughts. No homer talk. We have a legit chance to win the division. Just think how many games that we lose because of bad play calling and coaching. I think competence on the coaching staff is critical. I do too. Like, listen, this is no homer talk for me. But what I would tell you is that we can't labor under the illusion that Denver didn't get better. Denver got better, bro. Their quarterback's a year older, a year wiser, right? Los Angeles got better. They definitely got better. They drafted well. They did well. They brought in some players. They look, and their offensive line is going to be a mother effort. I'm telling you right now, Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater and them guys and Zion. Let me tell y'all something. Listen, the Rams are going to be a freaking problem. The Rams are going to be a problem. So listen, we are a team that, yeah, we got better, but everyone else did too. And we can't forget that. And the Raiders have to continue to build. They have to go out there and leave no stone unturned when it comes to filling in the gaps of this roster. Our division is a tough division. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. And listen, I know, shout out to all of y'all. Look, the thing is, I want to make sure I'm putting out as much content as possible. We got to get revving up for the season. This summer has been a big summer for my family, bro. And I've been really, really busy. I've been busy at work and stuff like that. But I want to make sure that every day or every other day I'm tapping in with my channel and my people, man. So salute to y'all, man. I don't want to leave y'all without any content. But guys, listen, we've been at this 50 minutes. I want to jump into this, jump on out. We'll be back at it tomorrow. I got some shorts I'm going to drop. If you're watching, you can hear the sound of my voice and you have not subscribed. What the heck are you waiting for? It costs you nothing. Please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. I need it. Trying to get to 15 and then trying to get to 20, man. Yeah, the Chargers got better. They're in the offensive line. They're pretty damn tough. I'm not scared of any of their receivers. Their running game could be scary, but we got Pete Carroll. Yeah, we do. But you got to understand, these other teams, they got Sean Payton. They got Andy Reid. They got Jim Harbaugh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's apples and oranges here. And, yo, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. There's the link right there. But, guys, listen, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to get out of here. Peace out. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I got to go pick the kid up. You guys have a terrific, terrific night. We'll be back at y'all tomorrow. Thank you guys for pulling up, man, in this midday Wasted Talent live show. And we're going to be rocking and rolling, and we're going to continue. And I got an interview coming up Monday too, guys. So stay tuned for that, y'all. Peace. Y'all have a great night. And do me a favor, y'all. On the way out, hit that subscribe, man. Make sure you do it. I know I said it like 3 or 4 times, but I'm old and I forget sometimes. Make sure you hit it on the way out, man. Peace, y'all. Y'all have a great night. And I ain't forget.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.